people were willing to fly under Hannibal's banner. Hannibal actually took his war elephants all the way to Rome's gates, knocked on the door, and said, "Yes, I did this," and went back to Carthage. That's how boss of a man Hannibal is. That's the kind of blood that runs through us black Americans today. A military strategist of intellect. Romans had never seen a person who could defeat them in battle until they met Hannibal. Hannibal was defeated due to another African general that was paid by Rome. That's crazy. That happens today. You know, the white man pays the black man to get over on the other black man. We call that Uncle Ruckus when we watch Boondocks. But to get to the point of Hannibal, he drank poison at the age of 65. He killed himself rather than be captured by Rome because he stuck to his mortal enemy, death. Another brother that I want everybody to be aware of, it's talked about, but not a lot of people actually know specifically what this man was able to do. Mansa Musa, the most richest man in the world. We talk about Bill Gates. We talk about Elon Musk. We talking about Vladimir Putin. No one was as rich as Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa reigned the Mali Empire. He was king from the year 1312 to 1337. He gained his wealth primarily from controlling and the taxing of the salt trade. A little bit was gold. Everybody thinks he got a lot of money from gold, but it was really that salt trade. And he had established that when he went on his pilgrimage to Hajj back to Mecca. Alhamdulillah. Mansa Musa went on his pilgrimage to Hajj in the year 1324 and helped establish Timbuktu to become a center of Islamic learning. His predecessor launched 2 expeditions to explore the Atlantic Ocean and did not return. That'll lead us into our next topic when we get around to next week, week 2. Stay tuned. Mansa Musa was a Muslim, and to him, Islam was an entry into the cultured world of the Eastern Mediterranean. Mansa Musa was the richest man of all time, and you know, the Forbes list says he may have taken as much as 18 tons of gold on his pilgrimage to Hajj. That's worth about $1.397 billion in 2024. I know it's 2026, it'd be worth more now, but my math ain't right. I don't know how to get over that equation right now. He gave out gold on his pilgrimage. That was a good thing, too. He established a lot of trade networks, a lot of lines of communication. He traveled 2,700 miles. And before becoming king, Mansa Musa conquered 24 cities and surrounding districts. We don't really know when he died. We don't know how long he lived. But we do know around the year of 1337 is estimated when he disappeared, died, or gave over the empire to his predecessor. Now, these are some questions to ask to get everybody stimulated. You know, just think about these type of things. Why is culture important, and how does it affect civilization? Now, we discussed earlier that culture is important. It kind of shifts the mindset of us and allows us to get into a certain rhythm of thinking. Civilization is culture in a structured manner to be built on politics, economics, and social classes. So, culture is very important. How does it affect civilization? I'm not going to tell you how it affects civilization. You have to answer this question. What about history? Would you have determined to be beneficial if it were taught in schools, and why? In what ways are descendants of black culture still involved with African culture, and how can we keep that alive? On an individual experience, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. This is where you're able to talk about your personal experience. This is where you're able to open up, tell them everything that's inside of you, what you went through, what someone that you know went through, your thoughts, your insights. Everybody's experience is different, but right here, right now, this is the black experience, and we're moving on a collective. So your experience, my experience, that's what matters. However it may have happened, please explain a time being black affected you personally. You know, there was a time where I thought the world hated me. Maybe it was the color of my skin. I'm not sure. But it's a mindset, and we're trying to pull people out of that mindset. We're trying to get them to be aware of the historical factors, what's real, what's trauma, how can we move past it, how can we learn from it, and how can we succeed today. Do you associate traumatic events and situations with your black experience? Why or why not? That's another good question. A lot of people have to. A lot of people do. Some people don't. Trauma is associated with my black experience because being black in America has taught me that I might have to try 10 times as hard as the next person to be able to get to where I want to be, but that's okay with me. It's not an excuse I'm going to use. It's a tool that I will abuse. Because if I have to try 10 times to be considered great, I might as well try 20 times as hard to be considered a legend. Might as well. You might as well. What can you do to process the traumatic experiences, knowing a black experience can be positive? A black experience can be positive. It doesn't always have to be traumatic. It don't have to be negative. We could be having a potluck. We could be having a barbecue, a family dinner. That's a black experience. In what ways moving forward can we as a people heal from trauma and create positive black experiences? That's key right there, man. That's key right there. How do we help the brother get out of the mindset that everything's against him, that he can't succeed? We have to be able to change one so that we can change all. Really, it's a mindset. It's a mind frame. It's a psyche. The lasting effects of week 1, ancient civilization. We are disassociated with our ancestors. You know, being black in America isn't the same as being African. We see our brothers, we don't say hi, we don't shake their hands, we disassociate ourselves from them. They don't associate themselves with us. We don't treat each other as kin. We don't accept African accomplishments as our own, knowing that before the United States existed, we were in various places. Yeah, we didn't come from the United States. We came somewhere else. The United States is just the country. This place, this land was called something else before it was called America. And who knows? Wink, wink. We might get into understanding where we actually came from in week 2. We have had contact with other races and traveled the world before Christopher Columbus. Boom. That needs to be said. That needs to be taught. Proof that people in India are of African descent, looking at the relationship between the cultures and the civilizations. And this is a bibliography. If you guys want to check out where I got a lot of this information from, you're fine to cite these sources. African Origins, Book 1, Part 1, African Origins of African Civilization, Religion, Yoga, Mysticism, and Ethics, Philosophy, Dr. Muata Ashby. African Origins, Book 2, Part 2, African Origins of Western Civilization, Religion, and Philosophy, Dr. Muata Ashby. Egypt and India, African Origins, Book 3, Part 3, African Origins and Eastern Civilization, Religion, Yoga, Mysticism, and Philosophy, Dr. Muata Ashby. The last book is African Icons, Tracy Baptiste. Thank you guys for tuning in. for week 1 curriculum. You know, we're doing big things. Like, subscribe, do what you need to do to be up to date on the next class. Because if you're late, you ain't going to get no Paul pass. We got to tell them. All right, Bryce Amir Hardy signing out. Stay black, y'all.